Okay, so I'm just gonna update you on where I am. I've been also working on with Lydia how to do an evening routine. Excuse me. Another thing I want to do is get my kids off TV as much as possible because they've been watching way too much TV. So we're talking about doing a routine where we eat 6 p.m., clean up the house, go upstairs, prep for a shower, everyone takes a shower. This would be new for us because we usually take showers every other day or further out sometimes. Mostly every other day we do. And I'm actually looking at the idea of having them shower every single day just for the routine of it, right? And the less TV of it, right? And then brush teeth. And then if we actually can read books together for a half an hour, the twins are now at an age where they could sit and listen. Like for a long time, that wasn't really possible and bedtime was crazy and stuff like that. Now we're getting to a place where I feel like if we had that routine, half hour every day, that whole routine, you know, they get into that routine. And I'm looking for evidence of this too. Like this is a belief that I want to believe. So I keep looking for evidence of it. I'm looking for evidence of this. So I actually searched for an article today about why is routine important for kids. Cause I've heard this before, but you know, not having been raised with routine as a kid, I don't really understand it. So the article was actually saying that routine helps children with emotional regulation too. And I was like, ooh, that's good. I like that, right? They can actually regulate more because they know what to expect. And myself having come from a very tumultuous there was a period in my life that was pretty tumultuous emotionally, family-wise, I can understand that feeling of not knowing what to expect, right? And just kind of everything being crazy. And now it sort of rearing its ugly head or it has been for many years. But now like, okay, why would we have routine? Why would we do this? They know what to expect. They feel more secure, and that creates really resilient children. And so I love that idea. And now I'm starting to incorporate that in my brain of why routine can be so important. And then also this idea of can't do something 7 days a week, right? Like 7 days in a row. So I was actually watching it. I Googled it to figure out like, why could you do something 7 days a week? And I started to think about farmers who, you know, dairy farmers, for instance, who have to milk their cows every day or milk production goes down 365 days a year, like no days off, right? And I think to myself, like, what is the value of that? And so I just started looking at Googling like what kind of other jobs are 7 days a week or whatever. And I just came across a YouTube video of some 22-year-old kid who was talking about he works 7 days a week. And he was talking about how the sentence that really caught me, he does it because of financial reasons, and he's like way smarter than I ever was. He's using the money that he gets on his weekend job to invest in the stock market. And I'm like, I wish I would have done that, you know? But anyways, he said a sentence which really hit me, which was, when you start doing something 7 days a week, like working, for instance, it's really hard in the beginning and you feel really tired and you feel exhausted and whatever. And he goes, and most people would quit at that point. He goes, but there's a moment after 2 or 3 weeks where it just starts to become normal and it's super easy to do it. And then it just is your routine. And I was like, oh my God, because the whole thing that has been pushing me is this idea of it gets harder and harder. And that's what I believed was like, it just gets harder and harder. But that, like, because you get sick of it and you need to have a break and whatever. But then what he's saying is like, no, the more you do it, the easier it actually gets. And you don't need the breaks and it's not hard, right? And I'm like, oh my God, it could be totally the opposite of what I've been thinking about for many, many, many years, right? So then now I'm toying with the idea of, if I can always do the same routine for my kids and what's very like, it's just structure, this is what we do, we always, you know, come home and do this routine and blah, 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 and we don't falter with that, and nutrition is always number one on the list, then, you know, getting used to this and getting used to it for them makes me get used to it for myself and start valuing it for myself, that I can do it every day for the rest of my life. And so Lydia was really interesting because we were talking about this, and it was so beautiful because there was a moment where she kind of had us pause and go, listen, this is gonna take you a little while to like internalize this whole thing for real, you know? And I know from my experience that yes, these big lessons, while I had a huge aha moment yesterday, it doesn't mean like I'm done with this, you know? I'm gonna keep faltering and I'm gonna keep practicing, but what I'm trying to convince myself of in a full-on belief, like embodiment of a belief, is that it's useful, right? Like I value it. I'm trying to change a value right now. It's not just trying to change a feeling or trying to change a habit or something like that. I'm trying to change a value, which is up here, which is belief pattern, right? And that takes a little while to reprogram, and it's okay if I mess up for a while. But the kids are resilient in this way that, you know, they're not gonna remember most of this anyways, and what they will remember is 5 years from now when we have these very strong patterns, traditions and rituals and stuff that we do as a family and schedules and stuff like that. They will remember that stuff, right? So I can give myself a little bit of grace and not be perfect and keep working on it. And it's funny because my daughter's name is Grace, and I always said that she would either be the definition of grace or she would have to learn grace. And what I'm learning is actually that I'm the one that needed to learn the grace. It's 2:05 right now. It's a little later than I would normally eat because I've been like blabbing and I've been doing other work, which is something I'm trying not to do. I'm trying to be very careful about my schedule and do what I say I'm gonna do and stuff, because I have a call at 3 and I'm gonna be on calls from about 3 to 5 today. Yeah, probably, or maybe 5:30 or something. And so I was gonna go eat after that. I was gonna have my salad then, which means that I wanna be hungry for it. And if I eat my smoothie too late, I won't be hungry for it, and then it's gonna be weird. So I was like, I need to get my smoothie in, but then I did a bunch of work instead, and then I made this video and all that, but I'm okay with it. I'm just realizing that I'm gonna have my smoothie now and I probably won't be super hungry then, but maybe I will be, we'll see. But just knowing maybe I'll have a smaller salad or something like that. But because it's after my last call of the day, I don't have stress on time, so that'll be fine. So right now I'm gonna go make a meal, which was gonna be a smoothie, and now I'm wondering if I want a smoothie. I had a smoothie yesterday, a cold one, which I don't usually do, but I was getting in the shower afterwards, so that worked out fine. I could do the warm smoothie again, but part of me is feeling like I should do a little more variety. Like maybe I'll do, part of me is also thinking about the weight loss aspect, that I know for sure I lose weight on the smoothie and salad protocol, but I do want to be flexible as well. So I'm gonna make oatmeal. I'm gonna do my regular favorite warm one, which is, it's not gonna be a ton of oatmeal, but I think I will cook it on the stove. I don't usually cook it, and then I'm gonna put berries in, so I can have berries, flax, cinnamon. Maybe I'll put, you know, I really like goji berries in because they have a really, like I put them in at the end, they have a really nice chew. I'll put a little bit of goji berries. I'm trying to think of sweetness. I'll put banana in, so I'll do, I'm gonna do the orange one because these sumo oranges are so delicious right now, even though they're not organic, it's okay. I'm gonna chop up one, no, I'm not gonna do an orange because I'm gonna put that in my salad too. So I'll do banana as a sweetener, and then I wanna have, and then we'll just have the berries. So it'll just be banana, berries, flax, cinnamon, a little bit of oatmeal. I think I'll cook half a cup of oatmeal, make it nice and hearty, and I'll put the berries in the pot and stuff. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it together while we're at it. So in our pantry, we usually make our own mix of oatmeal, but my husband has been doing it lately and he puts a little bit too much dried fruit in, so I'm gonna just make my own oatmeal today. So I'm gonna get the oatmeal, and do I wanna put, yeah, I have some sliced almonds. I'm gonna put some nuts in as well. So let's get my favorite pot, but I don't think they sell it anywhere. I got it at Costco one time. I just love it. It's a Westinghouse. And this is my new toy. I should put this somewhere so it's not sitting out, but it's a cast iron griddle because we make pancakes all the time. And this is gonna save me so much time. Okay, so we got my oatmeal. I'm gonna do, let's see, to speed up the process, I'm gonna boil this water real quick. So what did I say I was gonna put in it? Water, oatmeal, let's do flax. I always have some flaxseed pre-ground. Here it is. We grind this at home, so because flaxseed gets rancid really fast if you don't grind it yourself. What else do I need? I'm not gonna put any soy milk or anything else. I'll do, oh, you know what? I have fresh berries. That would be nice. But actually I think I'll put those in the salad today. I'm gonna do frozen berries, and I'm gonna do a bunch of cherries because I love frozen cherries warmed up in my oatmeal. Cinnamon, also goji berries. So let's go to the other pantry, which is like literally my favorite room in the whole house. I'll skip the cranberries for now. I got these from Sprouts. What else am I gonna put in? I think that's probably it for now. That'll be good enough. The true beauty of this comes from the goji berries, the bananas, super sweet, and then the berries. Can't really see it, but I'm gonna grab a couple of bananas. The ones that are getting ripe. I probably only need one. And then I always like to smash up my bananas. Actually, Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put this pear in because it's on its way out. Oh my gosh, I just want to eat this right now. I think I will. It looks so good. Mmm. I like to smash bananas like that so that it incorporates the sweet flavor a little bit better. Okay, so actually my camera shut off and I didn't realize it, but I had put the berries in. I'm just kind of letting it cook for a little bit so the berries will defrost. I put a bunch of cinnamon in. Once it's all cooked, I'm gonna put the bananas and pears and goji berries in. Got this compost bin, but I don't keep it out because we get way too many fruit flies. I just keep it in the freezer. And I can put all my scraps in there and take it out to the compost about once a week or more if I'm cooking a lot. All right, I like to break up blackberries because I don't like them when they're big. They're usually too sour, but if they're smushed, I don't mind them. And I like to cut in half the cherries so you get more of the yumminess in every bite. One thing I experimented with a while ago was, well, I really taught myself to have oatmeal again because I was so afraid of oatmeal for so long because I used to eat it. I used to binge on it. And I slowly but surely over the course of a few years taught myself that I could not binge on oatmeal. One of the things I had to stop doing was putting like sugar in it, right? So using Jif peanut butter or peanut butter at all is usually not a great idea for me if I'm trying not to eat too much, right? Not using any maple syrup or honey or anything like that on purpose. Like, could this use some extra sugar? For sure, everything could, right? But I find that I don't binge on stuff like this when it's just natural food. I don't make oatmeal ahead though, usually, but it wouldn't be a problem anymore. I've gotten myself out of that. But that took some work and some reprogramming and some messing up to realize that I, in fact, do not have to eat the whole container if it's in the fridge. One thing I'm always waiting for nowadays, once I learned more about my hunger and my satiety, is this idea of like, when does satiety hit? Like, when are you actually satisfied? When are you full? And I've done so much work on that. That's a huge part of our program, is teaching people how to know that and how to feel that and how to reprogram themselves to understand what those signals are for themselves, because it's different for everybody. And I found that when I eat whole foods without sugar, oil, salt, I'm sure that this includes meat. I don't eat meat anymore, or dairy or anything. Dairy definitely is not in this category, but meat, like if you eat it without salt or oil, I'm sure that would be in the same category, because meat doesn't naturally have, obviously, a ton of sodium or whatever. So it doesn't taste that great if it's not salted, right? And, I mean, it doesn't taste like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this tastes amazing, but it doesn't taste like if I put a bunch of sugar in it, right? So if you're eating whole foods without added sugar, salt, or oil, you get a natural satiety signals. Like, for me, I've worked on it for so long now that my signal is a thought in my head that's like, oh, okay, I've had enough. Like, it's kind of a feeling, it's like oh, there's my limit. Like, that's where I should stop, right? So I really enjoy now it's kind of like a game. Every time it's not a chore. Every time I eat, I'm excited to see when is that moment. And also I know about the quantities that I need in order to lose weight. So I know that this quantity is gonna be fine for me. And since it's so late in the day too, and I used a lot of berries and stuff on purpose to bulk it out. Like maybe I should have used a little less oatmeal because usually I use about 1/3 a cup raw. But half a cup is fine. Like I've had a half cup before and it's been fine. But I love listening for that signal. The one where your brain goes from, oh my God, this is so good, eat the whole thing, let's go, to, we're almost done. It's the coolest thing. Especially if you haven't used it your whole life, you know? It's so good. I just got my first indication that I'm good. I'm gonna finish this. So this is the right quantity for me. I've had oatmeal enough times to know when that moment is. The more you do this and the more your brain offers you that signal like, hey, we're good, the more you actually trust your body and your brain to tell you, to notify you. I'm gonna tell you though that in the beginning, the thoughts of, oh my God, keep going, this is so good, are stronger than the thoughts of satiety, the signals of satiety, okay? So it is something to practice. But when we can rely on this kind of stuff and we know what our body's gonna tell us and we know about how much food to eat, we also know, one of the big things for me was that feeling of satiety feels so good to me, knowing when that is, because I feel safe in a way. I never felt safe before eating because I felt like, uh-oh, what if I get hungry, right? And I've done so much work on fear of hunger. What if I get hungry? What if it's not enough food? I've done a lot of work on oatmeal specifically because oatmeal doesn't satiate me for as long as a smoothie does. And so what I had to do was kind of realize like, oh, that's just how oatmeal is. Like, it's okay, it's not an emergency. I still like oatmeal, so I'm still gonna eat it. But it means I'm gonna get hungry in 2 hours or 3 hours instead of 4 or 5, right? So that's just a sort of risk I take when I eat oatmeal. But I've worked on that, like meaning as the thoughts came in of, oh, what if I get hungry? I would counter them with, it's okay. Hunger's not an emergency. It's totally fine. Like, you'll be fine. Just eat your dinner when you get hungry again later and, you know, everything will be fine. And so this is peace, right? This is what creates peace. And when you know that your food is gonna satiate you, even if it's not for the amount of hours you're expecting or whatever, like when you know your food is gonna satiate you, that's so comforting. Okay, I don't know if I'm making another video today, but the plan is I have some salad left. I'm gonna eat that up. I think it's like a regular portion of salad. I'm gonna add the regular stuff, the orange and apple, and then beans, my tahini, and my balsamic vinegar. And that will be my dinner. I'm gonna eat that after my last call here today. And that's gonna be it. Okay, my day is almost over. It's actually 7 p.m. This is the time where the nanny leaves. And I didn't even have my salad because I was just going, doing stuff. Now, in the past, that is something that would make me really, really crave, and then I would go overboard. But I don't feel super cravey right now, which is great. And it's late enough that I think if I have something small, I won't be craving afterwards. So I'm gonna go downstairs and make 1 or 2 little almond flour tacos with a bunch of lettuce and avocado and tomatoes. So I'm gonna have that, and that'll be it for tonight. What was really cool was I don't feel super starved. Like, I had my oatmeal at what, like 2, and here at 7, so that lasted 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I feel hungry, but I don't feel like insulin resistance hunger, right? Like, kind of a thing, like that crazy craving thing. So that's cool. I wanted to mention that because what I'm gonna do now is have 2 of those tacos, and then that'll be it for tonight. We'll go again tomorrow. Good night.